Here is scratch paper I bought online through an art catalog. And there's a scratching tool. It's just anything sharp. You could even use a toothpick if you want to. And I scratched away at the paper to reveal, let's see here, the gold underneath. So I can make that outline a little bit thicker. It's very fun. Or you can make homemade scratch paper, which might even be more fun. I have a piece of white paper here. I'm going to color this with hard pressure and put crayon all over it. And the wax in the crayon will help block the paint that we put over it later. I'm going to glue it onto a cereal box. I've got Crave cereal. Anybody like Crave? And I'm going to glue it onto there so that the paper is stronger and can hold up to the wax and the paint, and it won't get warped. And okay, got some glue here. I'm going to put a few drops on the corners and the edges. And so that it doesn't bubble the paper, I like to take my finger and smear it down more like a glue stick. It's like a mix between a glue stick and white glue, and maybe a couple in the middle. Don't need a whole lot. And I'm gonna flip this over. I already cut the cereal box to match the paper, and I could glue this down after I color. It doesn't really matter. So I've got the white paper on my cereal box. I've got some crayons here. Choosing bright colors is gonna help because we're gonna cover it with black paint, and then we're gonna scratch away the black paint to reveal the colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and start coloring. Okay, so I finished my waxy crayon. Hard pressure is the trick to get a lot of crayon wax on that surface so that the paint will scratch off easily. You'll notice I pulled a lot of bright colors. All the dull colors, the browns, grays, blacks, those stay in the box. Those won't react very well. So we'll have a lot of contrast with the black and the color. The next thing we need to do is take our black paint, and you can get this, you can get tempera paint at Walmart. Let's see if it says it on there somewhere. It says tempera paint right there. You can get it at Walmart for a couple dollars. It's pretty cheap, and it's washable. It washes off real easy. I'm just gonna put some black paint. It already feels kind of satisfying. And I'm gonna grab a soft brush. A soft bristle brush will put the paint on nice and thick. If you use a stiff brush, it's gonna scrape it on there thin. So this is really stiff, and this one is more soft. So all you need to do is pull the paint back and forth. So satisfying. And we'll scratch this off later when it's dry. And I can kind of see the paint through the paint. So I can pull it, I can dip the brush in some thick areas and pull it through there. And I've got this sitting on a piece of cardboard to block the table from getting paint on the table. That way I can paint my edges. And if it looks kind of transparent or see-through, that means it probably needs a second coat. So I'm just gonna spread this black paint out everywhere. Look for places where the paint is thick and globby, and move that brush through the paint and spread it out evenly. Softly pulling the brush, getting that nice coverage. Get my edges. Pull that back and forth. I may give this about 10 minutes or so to dry up a little bit, and then I'll add a second coat to make that black. Okay, so I got the first layer of paint on there. It took it actually about an hour or two to dry. The second layer, don't need as much. The first layer just requires a lot more. And looking for, you can see that the paint is transparent in a few places, and that's what we don't want. So I'm gonna load the brush up and pull it through some of those spots and make sure that it's completely solid black before we try to do any scratch work on here. And again, this is tempera paint. Pulling it, I like to pull it in one direction, and I'm definitely targeting those areas where I can see the color through the paint. Okay, so I have 2 layers of black paint over my crayon wax here. I took a pencil and I looked at an image of an eagle. I drew an eagle and I drew some letters backwards. I drew them backwards because I'm going to print them onto this surface so that I don't mess up. If I tried to draw on the surface, there's a chance I would mess up, and then all of my painting and waxwork would be kind of ruined. So I want to print this pencil image to here. That means I'm going to need to flip it and rub the back of it, and the lead will print on the black. However, I need to know where to rub. So I'm going to marker the back side of this so I know where to put my pressure when I rub it onto the wax paint scratch board. So I'm going to flip this over, and if I can't see it through the paper, I'm going to take it to a window and trace a marker on the back of this at the window. Okay, I markered the reverse side of the pencil work. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to add more lead to this side because the lead is what is going to print off onto my painted surface over here. So I'm just going to go around and kind of anywhere I see these marker lines, adding some more lead. I'm going to go over all of these places and kind of trace over with a little bit of pressure. I'm going to do that to the whole picture. All right, so I've got a lot of extra lead applied to this back side, and that's going to print onto this surface. And it's kind of a rule that you listen to the eagles while you're creating eagles. It is in my art room anyway. So I'm going to place this on the scratch board, and I'm going to tape it down so that it doesn't move around while I'm printing that pencil lead to the black surface. So just a little bit of tape on the edge here, a little bit over here, maybe a little bit on the top, and a little bit on the bottom. And now I can take this pencil, and a dull pencil here is probably better than a sharp pencil because we're just using the pressure to rub the lead onto the black surface. So the lead is on the back side of here, and I'm going to just take this pencil and kind of a hard pressure scribble motion right over my black marker. And that will print that M onto my painted surface. I'm going to do the whole image that way. And now it's going to start getting really fun. I scribbled all of that marker area to print my lead. I'm going to remove this paper, and I get to start scratching. Scratching anything sharp will probably work. You can use a toothpick, a paper clip, or I have a tool right here that is for scratching. I'm going to flip this away, and I can see my image pretty good, especially with my own eyes, but I think you guys can see the image. So now I get to scratch it, and some of my paint did start to flake away a little bit when I was doing that pressure trick. So it'll be kind of a surprise what colors I get when I scratch. I can pull this tool right here and start scratching paint away. You can also use a paper clip. Or the sharp stick. And I did want to add the lettering so I could get, the eagle was cool, but I had a lot of really nice colors under here. So for the whole scratch board, I wanted to figure out a way to reveal colors in more places than just the eagle. So I decided to add the lettering. Now I could do stripes in the lettering, or I could completely scratch it out. For right, I'm thinking a bold, thick outline might be my best route. And I might even do like a 3D version. So I'm gonna keep scratching away at this, and I'm gonna turn the camera off for right now. This is really satisfying, and it is kind of a surprise what colors I'm getting. Okay, so I finished the scratch work. I made some of the lines thicker just to reveal some more color. I didn't want to make them too thick though, because a lot of black does make the colors more vibrant. I hope you give this a shot at home, and I hope you like it. Good luck.